right, this week's next question comes from Strata Burn. Do you think that Sony and Microsoft will ever enforce the companies to make all their games at least somewhat compatible with PS Move and Kinect? No, not a prayer. There are games that just don't make any sense with Move and Kinect, and I don't think that Sony and Microsoft would ever force people to make, to ensure compatibility. I'd say less likely with Move than with Kinect, and I only say Kinect has an advantage because of voice control, because it wouldn't be that hard to program in voice control. I mean, the Kinect microphones will recognize your voice and recognize the commands. So to say, game start or game pause, fine. But if you're using a controller, you all know how easy it is to pause, and you know how easy it is to start back up. So I'm not sure why you need that, but no, I don't think there's a possibility. All right, fellow babies, this week we have a Twitter question from @temporal173. Do you think motion controls have a long-term ticking clock? Could conventional joypad control disappear? I actually think those are mutually exclusive questions. This made it sound like motion controls are going to go away, and then the second piece of the question says joypad controls are going to go away. So I'm not really sure what this guy is asking, but the answer, I think, is there are some games that just are appropriate for joypad controls. Think about the analogy of a pilot flying a plane. There's a reason why that pilot has a joystick, why he actually steers the plane with that joystick, and you'll never add motion controls to a plane. There's a reason why a car has a steering wheel. You're never going to turn your car into motion controls. So there are some games that it just makes much, much more intuitive sense to use the dual analog sticks and the D-pads. I don't think they ever go away. I think that, as long as there are shooter games and you're playing on a console, you're much more precise shooting with a normal controller than you are with motion controls. Sony will tell you that if you have the sharpshooter in PlayStation Move, that's much more accurate. It is. It's pretty cool. I don't think everybody's going to go out and get Move. So the only way that's ever going to work is if the next generation Sony console comes with a sharpshooter and comes with Move built in. Then maybe, I think as long as there's innovation, the problem is I don't think we want all those peripherals. I think people are very happy with controllers. So the answer is yes. I think motion controls have a long-term ticking clock. No, I don't think conventional joypad control disappears. So again, mutually exclusive questions, so I gave you opposite answers for the two. All right, fellow babies, thank you for joining us on this week's Pack Attack. Remember, if you have a question, you can submit it to the link on this page, or you can submit it to Twitter, @MichaelPachter. Make sure you copy @RohanLikesPants, because he selects all the questions that we answer. So suck up to Rohan, and you got a chance of your question getting answered.